Joining us now live is COMELEC Commissioner Rene Sarmiento. He is an aspirant for the Chief Justice position. Good evening, Commissioner Sarmiento.
Good evening, Pia.
Okay, aspirant as opposed to
As
nominee.
opposed to nominee.
Dahil tinanggap niyo na po yung nomination.
Yes, last June 18, Pia, I accepted the nomination.
And if you accepted the nomination, that means you do want to become Chief Justice.
Yes, God willing, Pia.
Why?
Well, Pia, I've been in government since 1986 as member of the commission that drafted the Philippine Constitution. I've been with the Peace Panel for a decade. I served as the peace advisor for a year, negotiating with the Muslim insurgents. I've been in the practice of law for a quarter of a century, starting my stint in the office of Jokno, and I've been a teacher for a decade as a law professor. I think, and of course in the commission for almost 7 years. I think government plus academe plus private practice, I think would qualify me for that position.
What are your chances, sir? What do you think?
I would not know, Pia, no, because it's competitive. The aspirants are qualified, no? They're justices, been in practice, been in government for a long time. Mahuhusay po sila. So it's a question of destiny, Pia, not to be chosen as Chief Justice. But hopefully, matingnan din naman ang ating qualification.
What COMELEC experience will you bring to the court, sir, that will help reform the judiciary? Because I think that is the main objective now.
3 important things. Number 1, we've been through with automation. Last 2010, it was the first successful automation, though with glitches, in Asia. We're the toast of Africa and even Russia because of this automation. I can bring this to the Supreme Court, automation of processes in resolving court cases. Number 2,
how's that, automation in processes?
Well, in processes like resolving court disputes, administrative concerns of the Supreme Court, so we can automate these processes.
Okay.
The number 2, Pia, in the COMELEC, I'm in charge of agencies designed to empower vulnerables, PWDs, detainees, indigenous peoples, through the rule-making authority of the COMELEC. The Supreme Court has a rule-making authority. I was part of the commission of the Committee on the Judiciary that introduced innovations in the Constitution. So why not exercise to the fullest this rule-making authority to reach out to the vulnerables? It should be just social justice and human rights that should, I think, be the thrust of the Supreme Court to make it closer to the people. Number 3, Pia, I think transparency, accessibility. Why not steps of the Supreme Court chat with the media every month for the people to know what are the activities, projects of the Supreme Court. And finally, Pia, I'm thinking of the Supreme Court has plenty of goodwill. And
it does?
Well, if historically, Pia, from the very beginning, except for this recent months and recent years, so why not connect, linkage with government institutions, and then use this goodwill and this position, this institution, to support peace processes in the country. So I think this is a 4th trust that I want to introduce in the Supreme Court. God willing, I'll be appointed.
How, I hope you don't mind my asking,
Sure,
how old are you, how young are you?
I'll be 59.
59.
The current Chief Justice of the Supreme Court became Chief Justice at the age of 50. Salmon Chase, the Chief Justice Abraham Lincoln, was 52 years old. The greatest Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Marshall, was 46 years old. Earl
So
Warren,
the younger the better?
I don't think so. It's a balance between youth and I think experience. So I think 58, 59 or 60 would be good for the Chief Justice.
How is your health, sir? I noticed that you're a little bit thin now. Or?
Well, I do exercise. I walk every day in my parish, in my community. I walk every day.
Pero wala po kayong sakit ngayon,
Ay, wala po.
Wala.
Wala po. Wala pong sakit. I think I'm physically fit, and then every weekend, I go to a small farm to recharge my batteries and be with Mother Nature.
What will be going through your mind, sir, when the interviews of the aspirants are going to be happening now? And this will be live. Everything will be live.
I welcome it, Pia, like this interview for the public to know us. Sino ba ito si Sarmiento? Ano bang kanyang mga programa for the Supreme Court? So I welcome this, and I think it's high time that the Supreme Court should be scrutinized by the public and should have connect with the public. That's why PIA, like these steps of the Supreme Court chat with the media, should be done monthly.
Okay, but before and or during the public interviews, there will be comments that will be accepted by the JBC, no? Comments about you, people reporting so many things about you. So in other words, kakalkalin, no?
Sure.
Ang buong buhay nyo.
Me, I welcome it, Pia, in the spirit of transparency and of course for us to give our side in the interest of due process. I think I welcome it. Kahit na po yung income, yung resources, lahat po, dapat po makita for them to know may unexplained poverty also.
Okay, so wala po kayong dollar account or meron?
Ay, wala po. Wala po yung dollar account.
Ilan po yung peso account nyo?
May tama-tama lang.
Anong tamang-tama? Ilan po yun?
Medyo mahirap sabihin po, Pia, kung ano po yung kung laki o maliit. But
I mean, how many? Like 1, 2, or 3
I
accounts?
place it in the SALN, which I do every year, and give it to PCIJ, no? If they ask, I give. I think in the vicinity of 10, Pia.
10?
10 million.
10 million,
Yeah,
okay.
more or less.
In how many accounts?
Only, few accounts, 1 to 3, about 3 accounts.
Savings, checking, or do you have other investments?
Savings and checking, Pia.
Do you have other investments, money placements?
Yes, through the years, I were able to buy with my wife some condominium units. It's in the SALN, and it's all there for people to see.
Yeah, but we don't have it right now. So how many condominium units?
Isa, dalawa. Baka mga 3-4 lang naman.
3-4? Hindi, sir. Ilan nga ba talaga?
About.
4? Saan?
When I was in the practice of law dito po sa Ortigas, no, yung law office, which I have to close because of my government work. Dito po sa Quezon City, may isa po. Diyan po sa Pedro Hill, may isa po. So, mga 4 po yan.
Saan yung isa?
Pia.
So,
1,
Quezon
2,
City,
Ortigas,
Ortigas,
isa.
Pedro
May
Hill.
dalawang units po. Sa,
Ortigas, dalawa.
dalawang units po. Just in my law office.
Okay.
And then dito po sa Quezon City. And then meron
Pedro
po sa Pedro Hill.
Okay.
4 Pia.
Okay. And then you own the house and
Yes.
lot
That's in
that you
Quezon
live
City.
in.
That's
Okay.
correct. That's correct.
I see. So walang condo units sa Bellagio, sa The
Ay,
Fort, sa
wala
McKinley,
po. Ito
walang
po
ganon?
mga 30 square unit, 70 square unit, may law office. Hanggang doon lang. 20 square unit. Maliliit po ito.
20 square meters, yun yung mga condo unit.
maliliit po.
Maliliit.
Maliliit po.
Hindi 300
Naku, ma'am.
Hindi penthouse
Hindi ko
yung
po kaya yun.
Napadiskwento.
Hindi ko pa kaya yun.
Pa? Anong pa?
Hindi ko kaya yun.
Hindi ko.
Hindi ko kaya.
Okay, then narinig ko lang yung... Okay. Well, do you have, kumbaga, skeletons in your closet?
Me, I have none. I'm open
Wala.
for public scrutiny. I think I can tell the public, you can check my background. So, okay po yan. Malaman din po nila na wala pa akong tinatago.
Sa inyong careers bilang COMELEC Commissioner, wala po kayo?
Wala po. As a matter of fact, dito po sa COMELEC, if you recall, we voted for the prosecution of the incumbent president in filing. No? So, investigations were conducted. So, si Coco Pimentel is there. Okay. So, wala naman po.
Wala naman.
Opo.
Okay.
These were checked, these were looked into.
Pero yung insidente po sa, was it Lanao del Sur in 2007? Ano po yung paano na-resolve yun?
Doon po ako nag-explain po ako, Pia, I gave an explanation, a written explanation, I distributed it, and gave it to the public, to organizations.
And in summary lang?
They were satisfied. And there was no complaint from a single NGO or accredited organization by the COMELEC. And the parties were satisfied. There was no complaint up to this very day. It was the subject of an investigation by the DOJ. So the records are open.
So the explanation there was that there was nothing irregular
Nothing
about...
po. There was nothing.
Some election supervisors were really taking custody of election documents.
That's correct, Pia. So an explanation was given and people were happy with the explanation. The records are open for people to see. So wala pong NGOs, public organizations, PPCRV, NAMFREL, they're satisfied with the explanation of what happened in that place.
Hindi po kayo maiinis or mapipikon kapag yun din ang tanungin ng JBC.
Hindi po. Okay
Siyempre,
po
lahat.
yun. Opo. Dapat po buksan po at kalkalin eh. I think our lives should be open like a sister's wife. Dapat po open and transparent.
Dapat lang. Alright. Maraming salamat po, Commissioner Rene Sarmiento. Thank you for joining us now.